it's raining outside. The sun has disappeared from the horizon. Yes, we have no sun left in the UK. This is the typical English summer we have in the UK, which is we get 2 weeks of sunny weather, and then unfortunately we're left with the rain, and the rain comes down and does not stop. Anyway, coming to the rain that's coming down upon Manchester United, the Glazers are still yet to announce their preferred bidder. They're yet to announce that they're actually going to sell Man United. They're yet to announce if they're even in the process of selling Manchester United. Moving away from the whole sale debacle and the takeover debacle, because I'm getting sick of it. We as United fans must be pushing for the full sale of the club and the Glazers to get out of the club, and more importantly to announce it as quick as possible, because we are in middle of a transfer window, a crucial transfer window. It's the first time Erik ten Hag can actually get his teeth into the team and who he wants out and who he wants in. And there's loads of rumours that we have Harry Maguire who's on his way out. There was already last week actually we had rumours that Harry Maguire is on the transfer out list, and there's nothing stopping him. He's been saying that he wants to stay at Manchester United and wants to fight for his position, but the talk is, and the rumours are, and sources within Manchester United are saying that Manchester United do not want to keep him and are looking to sell him to the highest bidder. There's talk actually that he might even turn up to Spurs, and Spurs might buy him, and that would be where we're linking ourselves into another Harry. We might do a Harry exchange. You take our Harry and you give us your Harry. Harry Kane, yes, Harry Kane, who's 29, I believe it is being talked about in the Manchester United realms of transfers and incoming players. And Harry Kane is a prolific striker. Man United need someone like that. They did try and fill that role in with Weghorst, and that was a complete and utter disaster, a complete failure. He didn't do anything for Man United. He didn't bring anything to the table, unfortunately. I mean, on paper, you'd think that he'd actually suit Manchester United. Big, tall striker with lots of support around him and would nick goals left, right and centre. Unfortunately, he didn't do any of that. Maybe the dynamic of football has changed, that the outlook of the way football is being played currently. You cannot have just a big bulky striker up front doing the damage. But then you've got Harry Kane, who'd argue is probably around the same type of player, big, tall striker. Can he fill the void? I don't think he can, and this is why I've been sceptical about Harry Kane joining Manchester United. Number one, he's 29. He hasn't got much left. He wants to fulfill he's got no challenge. He's got no desire to do well. He's going to see out his contract, and Man United shouldn't be looking at players like that. For me personally, I think they should be looking for players who are young, who are hungry, who want to prove themselves, and who have got something to work towards. Harry Kane is going to see out his contract and is on the way to retirement. He doesn't appear to me like a Cristiano Ronaldo or someone else who can carry on playing football till he's in his late 30s. Absolutely not. And at that level, I don't think so. I really don't. I think we should steer clear of Harry's. And Harry, if you're going to get rid of Harry Maguire, we should not bring another Harry in replacement. Personally, I think we should be going for someone a lot more younger. There is talk of Højlund, or if that's the way you pronounce his name, Ramos Højlund or Hodgland Lund or wherever it is. He seems like a young striker, similar in stature and build to Harry Kane, but he's a lot younger. He seems like not someone who's really pacey, but he seems like someone who wants to work hard and score, and he's young, and he actually has, in some circles, let it be known that he does want to move to Manchester United. But I think there's going to be lots of competition to sign him. I think there'll be Bayern Munich sniffing around, and other clubs such as PSG who will be sniffing around, seeing if they can get this young, promising talent. to their club. So Man United will not have a clean swoop at this youngster. Moving back to Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, we need to see the end of this guy. He has been a total disaster from start to finish, in my opinion. He hasn't done anything for the club. For the price tag of £80 million coming in, you'd think that this guy would be the player for Manchester United. He'd be the player that everyone would look to and say, well, this is the cornerstone of the new Manchester United. It actually transpired that he was actually rubbish. He's been poor in his performances, and when the goings got tough, he's just crumbled under the pressure. He's not been able to satisfy most fans out there, and I can see why Ten Hag has reached that conclusion that look, he can't sustain playing for Man United. Harry Kane, like I said, I believe he's old. I don't believe we should be signing him, but if it's for a 1-year contract or 2, maybe I can see that. I can see him coming in and playing for a couple of years, but then let's not pay him a crazy amount of money, and let's not carry on chasing and negotiating with Daniel Levy on this whole thing. Daniel Levy being the chairman, the owner of Tottenham Hotspur Spurs. So we do not want to negotiate with this guy, because he is a shrewd businessman, and whoever's dealt with him, no one says a good word about him. Everyone is very critical about his way of managing Tottenham. Recently, Jose Mourinho came out in a press conference saying he didn't even let him win a final. I don't know what that means, but clearly they didn't get on. So look, Harry Kane, 1-2 years, yes. For any longer, I don't think we should be offering him any long-term contract. And then there's also talk of other players. Declan Rice actually is going to Arsenal. Now that's a big one, because he would be quite ideal for coming in to Manchester United. I think he would do actually pretty well at Manchester United. He's that type of player that United are missing in the middle of the park. Someone like a CDM, a big guy, someone who's got an engine on him, just runs and collects the ball, passes the ball. Manchester United need them type of players, and to let him go to Arsenal, I think, is a big mistake. Also, Osimhen. Osimhen has apparently signed a new contract with Napoli. Now, that for most people would, illustrate that he's no longer wishing to move away from Napoli, but I believe so, and that it's been reported that there is a clause within his contract if a price for him is met, I think it's 150 million, then the club Napoli will allow him to leave. So let's see if a club out there will be willing to pay that much. I will not be surprised if someone like PSG come forward and make an offer for 150 plus for him. I can see 150 for a prolific, for a top in-form striker such as Osimhen being not a problem for a club like PSG. In fact, I would have been confident if this whole saga of the takeover by Qatar would have taken place, if it had already been done and dusted. I would have said, look, we're in prime position to sign someone like Osimhen. But right now, more and more it looks like this whole takeover saga will not be coming to an end anytime soon. Definitely not within the transfer market, transfer window. So we are looking at a long-term battle essentially with the Glazers and getting the club free of them, and it's going to be a very, very difficult process. Right now we've still not heard anything from the Glazers as to what's going on, who's buying what, if there is any exclusivity period for whichever bidder, whether it's the Qataris or whether it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe. We have not heard a single peep out of either the Rain Group or Manchester United itself in representing the Glazers. It's a complete and utter mess. I keep saying this each and every episode of the podcast, that we have got to have some kind of transparency from Manchester United and from the Rain Group. What is going on? No one does this. I mean, it's highly frustrating. I can just begin to I just feel, if I'm frustrated and if the fans are frustrated, what do you think the potential bidders the Qataris and Sir Jim Ratcliffe think about the process. These guys are actually willing to put some serious money into the pockets of the Glazers, and yet they're being left out in the dark. £6 billion is what Sheikh Yassim has reportedly offered to buy Manchester United. Manchester United are being valued by Forbes at 3 point something billion pounds, at its highest. Now, they are paying double the price. Manchester United were originally bought by the Glazers for around 500 million. They are making a huge profit on what they have bought. They should be laughing all the way, skipping to the bank with the 6 billion that's being offered. But clearly, they still feel that they can get more and more. And this is, I've said this to many people, that the Glazers will not walk away just quite straight. It won't be a straightforward transaction. These guys are shrewd business people. They will wait until the very last second and get every single penny out of Manchester United. And that is their tactic, that is their ploy, and it's always been the case. They've not put any money towards Manchester United and its progress and its growth. They don't care about that. They don't care about its heritage and what they want from Manchester United in the future. All they care about is milking it right now, getting as much money as possible, because they already know that the value will increase as it would. And these are the same guys who try to pull away and set up the Super League just to line their pockets with more money. So look, these guys are absolute mercenaries. They don't care about anything but money, which is going straight into their pockets. Anyway, guys, I want you to smash that like button and subscribe, because without this I'm not going to get any traction. So I need you guys to do that for me, and please watch out for the next episode. So take it easy, let's hope and see what goes on. Let's hope we get some seriously good news out of everything that's happening right now, but it looks highly unlikely.